Picture this. It's 2012 and Bitcoin is on the boom. A friend tells you about this revolutionary new crypto coin and a guy online named Trendon Shavers who promises you even more exponential returns on your crypto investment. You decide to take the leap and give your hard-earned money to this man. Unfortunately, you're never seeing that money again. This is the same horrifying reality that hundreds of others faced in the 4 long years since the public release of Bitcoin. It took Congress to make any sort of federal regulation or statute regulating cryptocurrency. But why is it taking so long for Congress to make regulations? Why does Congress struggle so much with creating regulations for new innovations such as AI and crypto? Our first problem lies behind this picture. It's a picture of a nuclear weapon system from almost 5 decades ago. But I'm not showing you this photo to comment about its age. No, I'm showing you this photo because according to the U.S. Department of Accountability, the system shown in this photo was in use up until 2016. That's right, nuclear engineers could be slotting in floppy disks and then gone and scrolled on TikTok right after. And if literal nuclear systems are this outdated, I'm sure you can imagine how up-to-date regulations testing facilities are. But why are testing facilities even important to the creation of regulation? Well, to put out a fire, you first need to know where that fire is. To make regulations, lawmakers need to know where problems may arise within the use of new tech such as AI and crypto. Unfortunately, because of the incapable and outdated nature of the U.S. government's testing facilities, such as the National Institute of Science and Technology, lawmakers often find themselves without the data or capabilities to run new technology in all kinds of scenarios. The old office desktops the government's using now simply don't have the computing power to run large AI models or track crypto blockchains. Second problem lies within a lack of tech literacy. I'm sure that many of you have grandparents that struggle a little bit with technology. Unfortunately, the same applies to our lawmakers. According to California State Representative Jay Obernolte, it's alarming how little lawmakers know about AI. Obernolte is an authority on the subject, being the only congressman with a master's degree in artificial intelligence. But instead of being involved in thoughtful and intense discussions about regulation with his fellow congressmen, he often finds himself explaining to them that the chief dangers of AI will not come from evil robots with laser eyes. This lack of understanding poses a big problem for creating regulations. Obernolte explains why. Regulation requires a deep understanding of the subject matter, in this case, artificial intelligence. If congressmen do not know how new innovations can be misused, they cannot create regulations that respond to these problems. Our last major problem is a lack of time. I'm sure that most of us feel like we don't get enough of it. But for congressmen and lawmakers, multiply this feeling by 10. Between home state affairs, running for re-election, and lawmaking, lawmakers' valuable time is often split up across a lot of different things. Unfortunately, this lack of time means that lawmakers, and compound this with the fact that it takes 9 long, complicated steps for a bill to become a law, and you get a recipe for massive delays in the regulatory process. Now, this might not have been an issue a few decades ago, when new revolutionary innovations were few and far between. But at the pace at which modern innovation is moving, by the time a regulation is finalized, it is often irrelevant or too late to prevent major crime. But we don't have to take this lying down. There are 3 easy solutions we can implement to remedy these delays. The first of which is to update our infrastructure. By updating our testing facilities, we give lawmakers the ability to have all the data necessary, all the technology necessary to figure out all potential issues with new technology. The ability to identify biases in AI, the ability to track crypto exploits, and the ability to create defensive regulations that address potential issues before people like trend and shavers can take advantage of them. Our second solution is to introduce professionals into the lawmaking process. We can't expect to be able to replace lawmakers, and we can't expect to be able to re-educate them either. Unfortunately, that's been tried before unsuccessfully. But we can assist lawmakers with what they don't understand by introducing advisory groups full of educated professionals into the lawmaking process. We give lawmakers the ability to have knowledge that they've never had before, the ability to create laws that are detailed, thorough, and well-informed. Our last solution is to give lawmakers more time. We can do this through a variety of ways, but one method that I found particularly plausible was requiring companies to give early access versions of their products to Congress well ahead and testing facilities well ahead of the product's public release. Systems like this are already in place in countries like Singapore, and unfortunately, the US just doesn't have anything like it. But by implementing solutions like this, we give lawmakers the time necessary to create detailed regulations while simultaneously making sure that these laws are delivered on time to the public and do not allow criminals to take advantage of a lack of regulation. We live in a country built off of each and every one of our inputs. And by utilizing this power that we have within our government, we can change how and when regulations are made so that we can experience the future the way it was meant to be experienced, safely. Thank you.